We're being joined now by Pete Schulte. He's an attorney here in Texas, former police officer, and has many friends on the force. And Pete, I understand that one of the wounded officers is a friend of yours, and you went to visit him in the hospital.
I did, and we, a typical Thursday night, having dinner, and all of a sudden about 9 o'clock last night, phone starts going crazy. Friends texting, hey, we're hearing at least one or two officers have been shot in downtown Dallas, trying to gather information. But once I found out who it was, I jumped in my car and headed over to Parkland. Got to Parkland, was talking with some of the news outlets there, trying to figure out where my buddy was, and ended up going to another hospital. I was able to see him. Then we started to kind of hear the gravity of the situation. A lot of other officers were being brought in. A lot of families were upset. It was very surreal.
How is he doing?
He's doing well. He was talking last night. I'm hoping he's going to get released today. I haven't followed up with him yet. I know that he got shot in the upper body area. I think he's going to probably have surgery, but he's going to be okay, unlike the other five brave heroes.
He's been released.
I think so. I think he is about to be released today. So I don't know if it's happened yet.
The mayor said earlier that most of the wounded officers have been released, so certainly very good news.
Right.
What did your friend tell you about the shooting? What he saw? What happened to him?
We didn't get into much detail because there was a lot of activity, obviously, at the hospital. I do know from talking to other friends that were around that most of the officers who were shot were actually advancing towards the gunfire. And if you really put that in perspective with people, I don't think people understand what these officers do when they put on the badge and gun every day. They're not out to go try to shoot people. They go out to help people. That's what they were doing last night. They were having a protest. They were engaging. They were taking pictures with the marchers going down, and all of a sudden the gunshots rang out. And they saw one suspect, my understanding is, and one of the four officers that died was advancing those officers as they were firing at this particular suspect. And that's what the result was. It was very unfortunate.
The police chief said that they spoke to one of the gunmen for several hours as he was holed up in a parking garage nearby before he was killed by the police. And he told them that he was angry about the deaths of black men at the hands of white police officers. He was motivated by the Black Lives Matter movement. He said he wanted to kill white people and white police officers in particular. What's your reaction to that?
I will tell you that in Dallas, we've actually enjoyed a great relationship with our police department, our police chief, and the citizens. And so we don't have kind of the same issues that are going on in some other cities that we've been hearing about, obviously, for several months now. My takeaway from that is that all lives matter. Doesn't matter if you're a police officer, doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, male, female. This stuff does not happen in America. We need to figure out why it's happening and stop it. And this is a discussion. This is a divergence of both the Black Lives Matter movement and the Blue Lives Matter. This was not the way to handle this.
What does this do to policing going forward? What does this do if you're a cop in New York, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, and you wake up to this?
You go, what am I going to do next? Am I going to engage? I mean, I've talked to a lot of officers just in my law practice here, but they're afraid to engage suspects because they don't want the backlash that could possibly come, like we've seen in Baton Rouge and up in Minnesota. I don't know enough about those cases to comment on those, but protests are legal, they're constitutional. I like that. We're America, that's what should happen, but violence is wrong. Whether you're for the Black Lives Movement or the Blue Lives Matter movement, it shouldn't happen.
The police chief said that to take out this suspect, they put a bomb on a robot, drove the robot over to where the suspect was, and detonated the bomb. No choice in that matter?
No choice in that matter. You know what? I have to hand it to Dallas PD and the Dart Police Department. A lot of those guys, by the way, were working off duty. They were there to support the marchers for what they were doing, and as they go down there and they get killed. That's the only way that they could have handled that situation. I don't fault them at all. They handled it by the book. I'm very impressed with Dallas Police and Dart Police.
Pete Schulte, thank you so much.
I appreciate you having us on.
Well, thank you. We're grateful to you.